Hi everyone, I'm Senator Sally Eaves, and it's a great pleasure to be back today with Dr. Kiesha King to dive into how 5G is transforming the education system, and particularly the classroom in rural areas. Welcome back, Kiesha. It's lovely to speak to you again.
Thank you so much, Sally. It's always an honor to share this stage with you. I'm super excited to discuss how transformative technologies like 5G are redefining the education landscape. I think we went down this road a little bit last time, but it's time to expand.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely. So let's do just that. Let's drill straight into some of these challenges. And I'd love to kind of focus on the rural aspect. And obviously, a lot of historical limitations here around network quality and reliability. And even, for example, less focus on research and policy around rural areas too. But now we have this massive opportunity, don't we, to negate some of these opportunities that have been lost and create new ones through technology to expand learning experiences, particularly accessibility too. So I'd love to dive exactly into that, the promise and the delivery of 5G around accessibility for world-class education. So if I can hand over to you for a second for your perspective on the rural classroom and how change is being delivered with 5G, for example, moving to isolation to connection. I'd love to hear your take.
I think the first thing that's always really important to know, there's so many people that say, well, what's the difference between 4G and 5G? It's a difference of, 200 milliseconds versus 1 millisecond when you think about latency and being able to actually use the technology. And that's the thing that makes it so critical. Also, when you think about the reach, there are students and families in rural areas that traditionally have not had any connectivity at all. There's no cable access, there's no broadband access. And so now 5G gives us the opportunity to go in and make a critical difference. We're opening up a world of opportunity and access for these folks. And that's what makes it so critically exciting. I think, from my experience of being an educator, there's just this reality check that we think about, right? Rural education has so long faced these challenges like limited resources, slower internet connections, but 5G makes it a groundbreaking experience for these families. When we think about being in a rural classroom and joining a live science lab for a university miles away and having a real time debate with other students from around the world, that is the power of 5G technology, particularly in rural America. That can be done in so many different areas like architecture and agriculture and transportation, manufacturing, aviation. Think about the world of opportunities that are open to now these students that traditionally have been really closed into those communities. Let's open the doors and let them in.
I love that. I love that. I'm literally seeing you there kind of breaking down those walls and barriers. I love that. And
Yes.
for me, I mean, when I've been doing these types of activities as well, it's that real-time collaboration that you were kind of describing, walking in different shoes, versatility about subject areas and bringing those to life. I'm seeing things like, like communities of practice and somebody that's been, say, a mentee in one of these platforms, and they take on new roles. It's like this virtual circle of learning, and they become the mentor as well. And I think a lot of these real-time collaboration platforms massively support that. So that's one thing I've found particularly effective too. Plus the likes of like virtual hackathons as well, bringing people together, learning in real time and offering that peer-to-peer support. So I absolutely love it. I think it's the biggest thing we've got at the moment for democratization in this area of education. I really do.
So true.
Absolutely. I'd love to dive in a little bit more around some of the specific technologies here that are advancing these learning opportunities. Something I know I've written about recently, and we've talked about this before as well. So I'd love to drill into what is making a difference here, perhaps starting with some of these virtual learning environments and the benefits they're bringing. So VR being one example of that. For example, the work that you've been doing with Prisms VR, I think is a brilliant one that's really closing some of the STEM opportunities gaps. And again, walking in different shoes.
Yeah, you know what? VR has been so much fun, and Prisms is such an amazing partner. We think about virtual reality and augmented reality, they're really transforming the way that subjects are taught for these kiddos. For example, a biology student in a remote area can participate in a live dissection, digitally. It's so exciting when you see these students jump into these experiments and they jump into these opportunities and they actually feel like they're there. That's what makes such a big difference. Even with Prisms, I've said in a classroom of college students dissecting a human cadaver through the Prisms platform. I've been able to walk through some of the different experiences from the past and historical incidents and things that have happened through the Prisms platform. It just opens this huge door of opportunity for us to sit down and actually experience have this experiential learning path to understand the direction that we're going with technology. So that's the part that's really exciting to me. The question is, how do we want to be a part of transforming how that continues to look? There's this significant impact on the future workforce. And we kind of talked about this a little bit before, and what that means in introducing these new technologies to kiddos. The same way we're modernizing in business, the same way we think about the future of expanding and being more efficient, we should also have that same opportunity when we're thinking about teaching our kiddos.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I'm seeing some new avenues as well that are being explored that's bringing new children involved in this as well. So, for example, esports and gaming, 5G's made such a difference there, not just in kind of, elevating the value from an educational point of view of these activities, but it's bringing in new audiences as well and brings in that area of familiarity. It's bringing in new confidence too. So I love that. But also kind of the advent of 5G and AI together, really supporting personalized learning as well. I've seen some great kind of approaches here where it's helping people to kind of identify what works well for them, because we all learn in different ways, don't we? We all have different styles, and getting support for that can make a big difference and again build confidence, which is something I'm real proponent of, as we've spoken about before. So for me, AI and 5G pairing, massively important, but also bringing new feedback back loops for learners as well, and also for teachers. So again, this combination approach I think is fantastic.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think looking at the impact on student futures, I recently collaborated on this pilot program with integrated IoT and 5G technologies and agricultural students in rural high schools. And the students use real time data to learn about sustainable farming techniques. And when you put that with an opportunity that students have never seen before, it really prepares them for these potential careers in fields that are booming, like smart agriculture. Right. This is a testament to how 5G isn't just about improving current education practices, but it's crucial to opening doors. And again, there's this new future proof opportunity for careers that contribute to local and global economies at scale. How do we want to be a part of that? And how do we want to prepare our students to be a part of that? And that's why this conversation is so critically important, Sally.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And around learning, I believe in learning as facilitation. That's the role of teaching in so many
Yes.
ways. And when we bring all these technology opportunities together, plus the network connectivity that underbeds all of it and the quality, etc., you're kind of bringing this kind of canvas or tool set of skills together. I would imagine like a palette of all those different skills, and I think it's helping people move beyond a STEM focus to a STEAM one. It's also helping people to be more ambidextrous with their learning and building up this combination of approaches so you can kind of change with all the change that's happening, if you see what I mean. So for me, it's also helping kind of the rise of the generalist with this different palette of skills that you can work with and help you grow and learn. So for me, this is an incredible opportunity. You said it's opening new pathways, it's breaking down barriers to access, and it's helping people be prepared for all these new roles that have yet to occur as well. So that for me is this kind of this future orientated aspect, and the protection of that I think is massive as well.
Sally, that makes my heart smile. I cannot emphasize enough how much the transformation that we're discussing today is not hypothetical, right? It's actually happening now. It's reshaping education as we know it. With every student that we connect, every household that we introduce to AR, VR, and immersive technologies and innovation, every opportunity we have to inspire creativity in a student through 5G technologies and decreasing latency and helping them to understand the impact of having access. Every single one, we're connecting them with advanced educational tools. We're opening up a world of new opportunities to ensure that no student, no matter where they are in the country, no matter what their, circumstance or situation, they're not left behind. And that is something that is so special and it's the core of our conversation today.
Oh, it absolutely is. I couldn't agree more strongly. I think one of the most rewarding things in the world is when you're seeing feedback when people have gone through these programs, they've seized that opportunity and the difference that has made, that self-actualization. I think it's one of the most heartwarming things you can see. And this work is directly supporting that. I couldn't agree more, Kiesha. Real transformation is happening today. And I think this combination of emerging technologies kind of under arced really by 5G, it really is cultivating diversity, innovation, and that vitality of our future workforce as well. And I think I'd just like to say to everybody, get involved. Let's make this a call to action to be involved in these activities, support rural education initiatives, things like Project 10 Million, Empower Ed, and many more as well. The Wi-Fi bus school connection, I think, is absolutely brilliant too. But there's so many ways to make a difference. Get involved, ask those questions, be curious, and yeah, get involved, everyone. And we'll share more about this and continue to do so. And thank you so much, Kiesha, for sharing time with me today. And I'd love to continue the conversation because there's so much to cover here, isn't there?
Yes, there's so much. Thank you so much for having me. And again, even thinking about the way the direction that policy is going and how the FCC has expanded E-rate to cover school bus Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi hotspot checkout, right? Our digital equity grant that's out, to make sure that we're able to continue to connect students. We're in such a special position. Thank you so much. The work with Project 10 Million has been a phenomenal joy and a highlight to my life and to 6 million plus students across the country. So let's keep doing great work. And I appreciate you so much, Sally.
My pleasure. And likewise, too. Let's all come together and create a more equitable digital landscape wherever we are in the world. Thank you so much.